Barb Gully of Barb's Tea Service, and we are back with our 39th podcast.
Yes.
Courtesy ONTV Studio.
Uh-huh.
And I'm here with studio engineer, co-host of Arm Candy, Chris Gully.
I'm arm candying away.
You are.
I blew the line. Arn.
We'll just look at your shirt.
All right.
Okay.
Very good.
If we have to be reminded.
Okay.
So anyway, I want to congratulate you
Wow.
for being co-recipient
Yes.
on the ONTV Spirit Award.
Well, congratulations to me.
Yes.
Oh, you too.
Well, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
It's definitely a team effort.
Yes.
But we're going to talk about that. We were part of the awards ONTV Studio banquet last weekend.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about that.
Yes.
Because it was red carpet event
Yep.
in the bocce ball lanes.
Yes. We were feted.
We were feted. Yeah, we were really
All right.
treated well.
Yes.
So we've also been off for a little bit because we had holidays
Yeah.
and all this stuff.
Life.
Life. Right. So as always,
Yep.
there's a lot of ground to cover.
All right.
But here's what we're going to try and get to.
All right.
Our ONTV banquet and award.
Uh-huh.
Downton Abbey tea. We had that this weekend.
Yes.
And talking about entertaining royals.
Oh, boy.
Mhm.
Okay.
Then a couple manor homes in Yorkshire.
Yes.
And YouTube.
Uh-huh. We
Mhm.
love YouTube.
We do love YouTube.
Yeah.
And if we have time, we will share a dining etiquette tip.
Okay.
All right. But first, tea. Oh, doesn't that sound good?
Okay.
So, did we do the...
No. All right. Darn.
There we go.
All right. I'm losing my arm candy status. All right.
I'm going to hold on to that award for
All
both
right.
of
Yeah,
us.
yeah. Okay.
So, we have a lot to celebrate these past few days. And
Yes.
so, today we chose our sparkling tea
Mm-hmm.
from the Sparkling Tea Company.
Yes.
This is their rosé.
Uh-huh.
So, a few podcasts ago, when we were celebrating our 1-year anniversary of our podcast, we brought in the Blanc.
Yes.
It was a white tea.
Right.
Right? This one is rosé.
Uh-huh.
So, I think we should take a little
Okay.
taste.
There we go. Okay.
And I want to show this. Are we on camera 3 yet? No.
We are not.
Okay, I just want to show
Yep. Oh, our swag.
our swag.
Yeah.
We got our ONTV mug. So even though
Yep.
it is a sparkling
Mm-hmm.
tea, I still want to drink it in our new mugs.
All right. Very good. Okay. Shall we show this bad boy?
Yes.
All right. All right. It's up
Okay.
in all its glory.
Isn't that pretty?
It is.
It is. So this is the rosé. You took a little sip.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of it?
Oh, it's very good. So I think it's very refreshing. It's kind of a, I think I said this before. It's kind of a, something you can have out on the deck or something like that.
Right. Oh, and now that the weather's
Yeah.
changing, this will be really nice
It is.
to have it out there.
Yeah.
All right. Are you detecting anything?
Well, it's so I think when we had the white, it was like as soon as you opened it up and it took a drink, it was like super tart.
Right.
But then it I think as air got to it, then it evened out. Similar type of thing with this, not quite as tart to me, but it's very good on the palate, and I think this is actually to me a little bit more balanced.
I think so too.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll tell you what's in it.
Okay.
We have de-alcoholized, I always have trouble with that,
Yeah.
white wine,
Yeah.
herbal tea.
Right.
We have apple, lemongrass, hibiscus, rooibos, elderberry, chamomile, and rose petals,
Mhm.
along with oolong, white, black tea, and green tea, and sugar.
There's a lot going on.
It is. It's like a punch.
All right.
All right. So,
All right. Okay.
cheers.
Cheers. Here we go. One more.
All right.
Well, that is good.
Mm,
All right.
I really like that.
All right.
Okay.
We're back to us here.
So,
Okay.
we're still celebrating.
Yes.
And as I mentioned, we went to the ONTV Studio banquet.
Uh-huh.
And together, so this is a place where they bring all the staff and the support and volunteers and talent.
Right.
And personally,
Yes.
with regard to talent,
Yeah.
I will describe that with air quotes.
Okay. Wow.
Right?
Okay. Oh.
But
Wow. Come on.
I have to say that I was pleasantly surprised when we received this
Right.
the Spirit Award.
Right.
Now, I'll put this out here.
Okay. You ready? Or shall I show it now?
Yes.
All right. All right. Got it.
see that?
Yep.
Okay.
Look at that bad boy.
I love this. Is going to be hanging in a place of honor in our home.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So this was given to us because of our commitment to our podcast.
We show up.
We do. So that's always, isn't that?
Yeah. That's 80% of life.
That's what it is. That's the quote I was looking for.
Yeah.
Okay. And also they awarded this because we have taken on some of the added bonuses or going beyond just the studio.
Right. Yeah.
And we were the first ones to really take out and check out their remote podcast equipment.
And didn't break it.
Didn't break it.
Always a plus.
We did one on location.
Right.
And then Ian Locke, who is the executive director at ONTV Studio, he really recognized the fact that you went above and beyond and even purchased some of your own equipment.
You got to keep me away from Amazon sometimes.
Well, what I think, and we can go back to us now. We'll be studying that award for quite a while.
Yes.
But I would say if anyone knows us very well, the team of Barb's Tea Service, that as far as the technology and running with it, probably going to guess pretty much who that is.
Could be me. Could be.
It most definitely is you. So that was really nice. I think you got that shout out. And we just had a ball. This was such a well-organized event. Lots of fun. We met some old and new friends.
Yes.
One of our older friends was Anita Kay, who is a mutual friend. We have a mutual friend with Rick and Carol.
Right.
She's part of their Confident Communicators.
Right.
But I had met her maybe 10 years ago at a Downton Abbey tea that we had. And so it was really nice to connect with her. And we made some new friends, folks that are possibly going to be special guests on our podcast. So
all right.
That was really wonderful.
We're dangerous that way.
Right. And they had this wonderful food.
Yes.
And what we didn't get to, because I had a tea event the next day, we couldn't stay for the bocce ball.
That's all right.
Next year, clearing the calendar, we're going to.
Yes, we're going to do it.
Watch out on TV.
All right.
We're coming for you.
All right.
Okay. So let's see. Where are we now? Oh, yeah. We also wanted to thank. So Ian has been very supportive.
Right.
And so Joe Johnson, Joey Tissick, Tracy Marsh.
Right.
They have welcomed us in. Yeah. And they really help us out, especially like if we push the wrong button.
Yes.
Or we don't push a button at all. They come to our aid. And
we've gotten better.
We definitely. Just wait year 2.
I know.
We're on year 2, and we're already firing on all cylinders.
Well,
okay.
so maybe 4 or 3. I don't know.
1.
Yeah.
That'll be that'll be good. Yeah. So, and we also wanted to thank all our special guests.
Yes.
So Rob times 3.
Yes.
Megan and Rick and Carol.
Right.
Okay. So, I mentioned that we had been the following day. We had a Downton Abbey tea.
Right.
Out in Springfield Library.
Yes.
And that was just really special. I hadn't been there before.
Yeah.
It's a lovely library, really amazing, nice big meeting space.
Yep.
And I was there with BTS team member Pam.
Yes.
And we did our talk about some of the themes of the Downton Abbey movies.
Right.
And in particular, the theme of the first movie, and that was entertaining royals.
Yes.
That's when King George and Queen Mary came to visit.
Right.
And there's a lot that goes into that,
yes,
obviously. And, it wasn't always a great thing. Because it could be quite expensive.
Yes, it could be.
And for those in the aristocracy who are already facing some hard times, budget constraints.
Right.
Getting a note that the king and queen were coming for a visit may not have been the best of news.
Get ready. Open that checkbook.
That's right. So the Crawleys, of course, they're okay with this, but there is there's an account of just how much. Just to give you an example how much this had cost. Maybe we talked about this in an earlier podcast, but just to renew that or give a refresh. So the king and queen, when they really did come to Highclere Castle, which is the real Downton Abbey, and in 1895, Lady Elmina was married to Lord Carnarvon. She hosts the Prince of Wales for 3 days.
Yes.
And do you know how much that cost?
I'm guessing a lot.
Boy, nothing gets past you. It was $600,000.
Oh, wow.
In today's dollars.
Yeah.
You know, which
that's quite the dinner party.
It is quite the dinner party.
Yeah.
So you can imagine that if you have to entertain these folks in the manner that they're accustomed to.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. It was kind of like our old pinnacle parties.
What was it? Did we go all out? I missed that. That's why it probably stayed going for so long, right?
Right.
All right. So anyway, as we mentioned, this is entertaining the royals. It was not an uncommon practice. It was just expensive and a lot went into it. But we felt when we were at the Springfield Library that we got the royal treatment.
Wow.
I know. It was so wonderful. The head librarian, Cheryl, she had a variety of teas to serve. She had these lovely china teacups, a variety of sweets and savories, different types of scones, jam and cream.
All right.
And then these lovely tables decorated with personalized napkins and fresh flowers.
That's really amazing. I mean, that's such a cool thing.
It was. You could just tell there's so much enthusiasm for this.
Right.
And I wore a period dress. I'm now in the 1920s with Downton Abbey.
Okay.
So hemline's a little bit higher up.
Yeah, scandalous.
Yeah, not quite over the knee yet.
Okay.
But
yeah.
And it's kind of loose fitting, and I had the pearl chain, and I also temporarily put on a tiara. Because I have one criteria that allows me to wear a tiara.
Okay, you're a secret princess?
Well, yeah. That's a secret, though.
Okay. Darn.
No, but your marital status.
Oh,
I'm a married woman.
Okay.
I can wear a tiara.
Well, okay. So if you have multiple marriages, how many tiaras can you wear at one time? There you go. You weren't ready for that one.
I wasn't.
Okay.
That's a challenging question. I'm wondering, why are you bringing that up?
Well,
is there something? Should I be collecting my tiaras?
No, I'm just proving the thing. There are such things as stupid questions.
Oh, okay. I'll give you that.
All right.
Okay. All right. So it was really a delightful.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to just let everyone know how much we appreciated not only how the library came all decked out, but also the guests. The guests, many stayed after, had another cup of coffee, chatted with us, and shared stories and asked questions. And so it was really great.
Great.
We're excited if we get to go back there again.
Nice.
And then, so that was our afternoon tea. That wasn't our only tea time that weekend.
Oh, what? That's right.
That's right.
Okay.
Yes. So we went to. My brother was celebrating a milestone birthday.
Okay.
And we went to Topgolf.
We did.
And we teed up.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it really was a jam-packed, or should I say jam and cream-packed weekend.
Nice.
Or should I not say that?
It's your podcast. You can say whatever you want.
Right. Too late. Right. I'm going to hold on to that award because if this content gets any goofier, they may take it back. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So I mentioned that when in the Downton Abbey movie, they were entertaining the royals.
Right.
And we've also talked before about in the movie, Princess Mary, their daughter, invites the Crawley women to her home.
Right.
And they actually filmed there at the home, and that's Harewood House.
Right.
And you and I were there in 2023.
We were, yes.
Right. Sans Ballroom,
yeah,
all that stuff.
Yeah. And I think you talked about, just to refresh, a lot of the scenes were, as the guide kind of pointed out, a lot of those were like CGI additions because the local guides were, after that episode aired, they were quite confused when people would show up wanting to see this lovely ballroom. Like what?
I know, and it's amazing. It's funny too because so many of those rooms are beautiful.
Yeah, right.
But maybe they just didn't have the
right.
Anyway, so there is another manor home in Yorkshire that came up in the news today.
Yes.
It is called Castle Howard.
Yes.
And that was the ancestral home of the Howards,
right.
the family. They descended from the Duke of Suffolk or Norfolk.
Okay, right, Norfolk.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And
one of the biggies.
One of the biggies, exactly. And so this home was built in 1699, started, and then it took another 100 years to complete.
Okay.
So, when we had our basement remodeled, and it was
similar.
Several months. It seemed like 100 years. Okay. Yeah. But this, now they have restored it. This, as you can imagine, all those centuries kind of played havoc on it, you know, fires, weather, etc.
Right.
So slowly it's been restored, and the current residents, they have restored a number of rooms that haven't been seen to the public in 85 years.
Yeah. Right.
So today, this week, they're opening that up, some of those rooms, so you can go and see
We need to be there.
I know. I looked it up. It's only an hour's drive from Harewood House, so we know how to get there. No problem next time we're in England, right?
Excellent. Okay.
And another interesting thing about this Castle Howard is it is the location. It was a filming location for several period pieces.
Right.
One that was that made it very famous was Brideshead Revisited in 1981. You'll see Castle Howard in the background.
Very good.
And it also was in a few others. It was in Death Comes to Pemberley.
Okay.
And
a little fan fiction.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know. Have you ever seen that movie?
That has escaped my notice.
Well, it was based on this book.
Yeah.
And when I was at one of the Jane Austen festivals, I met up with one of the tea vendors, and I asked her. We were talking about different movie adaptations, and I said, I haven't seen Death Comes to Pemberley.
Yeah.
And she said, "Don't. Life is too short."
Okay. There's your succinct movie review.
Exactly.
All right.
So it's also more recently.
Yes.
It has served as Cliveden Castle in Bridgerton.
Aha.
The Duke of Hastings, that's his home.
That guy.
Yes.
All right.
So, bingo.
All right.
If you got your bingo card out.
Excellent.
Okay. So, hopefully we're going to get to that
on
our next trip.
All right. Excellent.
I also want to mention, too, that when I mentioned that this was where they filmed Brideshead Revisited, that's an Evelyn Waugh book.
Right.
And if anyone is interested in Evelyn Waugh or just wants to find out a little bit more about him, we did a book review of several of his books back in May of last year.
Right.
And one of my favorites is Scoop.
Yes. Okay.
So it's a definite tone. They're
so
interesting.
A little satirical.
It is. And it kind of pokes fun a little bit at the aristocracy, the odd lifestyle, etc.
Right.
But it's very good. And I'm going to put the links to some of the blogs that we talk about today in the comment section of our YouTube channel once we post this, this up. So speaking of YouTube, do you know this past week it celebrated 20 years?
You told me that, and it's one of those things. It's like, hasn't it always been there?
Right. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Because this was a CBS News piece, and they were saying that came out 20 years ago.
Right.
And one of the co-founders, it was just him at the zoo.
Right.
And a very short piece.
Yeah.
But it was so new on the scene that they had to have their correspondent define what it is.
Yeah.
And he said, and I want to find this. Oh, yeah. Because it's so complicated, a website that lets just about anyone post videos for the whole world to see.
Funny that.
I know.
Right.
And to us, that's a pretty high bar. We're right along with that way.
Very good. Right.
So today, YouTube is the second most visited website, and on Earth.
Yes.
The first one is Google.
Yes.
And Google purchased YouTube back in 2006 for $1.65 billion.
Right. Okay.
Wow. All right. So
not quite as much as hosting royalty, maybe. I don't know.
Right. When you put it that way, you're right.
Yeah.
So, we've seen this evolution of all these different types of subjects.
Right.
On cat videos and everything, but
Uh-huh.
how to.
Right.
What do you think is the top, the most watched ever on YouTube?
Other than our podcast?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Right. I think all we need to do is to enhance this podcast is add a cat. What do you think?
I think so.
All
Megan?
Right. Yeah, I know.
And Rachel?
No. Anyway, I'm evading your question. I don't know the answer to that.
You don't?
No.
Okay. Baby shark.
Oh, jeez. Wow. Okay.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
So, with yes, that's what when we say there is no try, only do.
Okay.
Baby shark.
Okay.
All right. So they had 16 million views.
Yes.
And compared to us,
Yes.
that's about 15.99. We could just do the math this way.
Yeah.
16 million minus 12.
All right. Excellent. Okay.
Okay.
Let's keep it simple.
All right.
All right.
So, looks like we have a little bit of time.
Oh, yeah. We're doing well.
All right.
All right.
All right. This is we've been running right down to the last second.
You're comfortable. Don't get too comfortable,
Okay.
but you're comfortable.
All right. Well, I've been talking about this dining etiquette tip
Right.
that I wanted to share for a while, and
Right.
we've always been running out of time,
Yeah.
so I kept it here.
Yeah.
And this, I've mentioned before that we have a afternoon tea and dining etiquette
Right.
book, and
Right.
I'm just going to show it up to the
Oh, yeah.
camera
Mhm.
one more time.
Yep. Very good. Yep. Okay.
Okay, and that's still available on Amazon, or contact me, email me directly, and
Right.
I will send you a copy. So this covers all kinds of things,
Right.
not just afternoon tea, but dining etiquette, as we talked about. But one thing to keep in mind is that you have to be fluid.
Yes.
Some of these very rigid
Right.
etiquette rules, you might have to bend them a little bit,
Yeah.
depending on
Be reasonable.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And we were reminded of this a few months ago when the importance of etiquette
Yeah.
and dining protocol
Right.
is that so you feel comfortable,
Right.
and you're more relaxed, and you can concentrate on things
Right.
like
Well,
talking.
and or if something comes up, at least you've got some guidance as to what to do.
Right,
you know.
right, because as we've talked about before, this dining etiquette came about when people were all sitting at the table and
Right.
sharing
Right.
bowls and
Yeah.
utensils, and
They said cut it out.
there had to be some order.
that's right.
Okay. So when our nephew he had some etiquette
Yeah.
classes while he was in high school,
yeah.
and he probably read his aunt's book.
Right.
That's what I'm thinking. But he said he felt pretty comfortable
Right.
now that he's in college and he goes to some of these
Right.
formal events.
Uh-huh.
He feels like he had an edge up over
Yeah.
some of his classmates.
Yes.
Because again, he felt confident and comfortable.
Right. Right.
And also relaxed enough to just, if something's out of order,
Right.
he can deal.
Yes.
Okay. So that's what brings us to this etiquette tip
Uh-huh.
is when you are at a dinner,
Right.
and the dinner is being served
Right.
to all the folks on your table. For
Right.
example, let's say there's 8 people at your
Sure.
table.
Mhm.
And they start bringing out the plates, and the rule is you wait to eat
Until everyone gets their food.
until everyone gets served.
Yep.
But
Yes.
there is an exception.
Yes.
You know what that is?
Well, I would think that if you're kind of a passive aggressive type of person,
Yes.
and somebody and you don't have your dinner, and your dining partner is waiting for you to give permission, and you don't like them very much,
Uh-huh.
just stare at them.
Well,
Yeah.
I think you're thinking too far out of the box.
Okay.
I'm going to bring you back in.
All right. Okay. Was that wrong? Okay.
I'm going to be watching you.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Well, you're kind of on the right track.
Okay. All right.
But if you're at a dinner,
Yeah.
and you're getting served your plates,
Right.
the exception is if the meal is meant to be eaten while it's still warm.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you get there's a few people getting served,
Right.
and it's warm,
right.
and these other people haven't gotten theirs.
Right. Mm-hmm.
What would be? It should be okay once you get 2 or 3 or 4 people who have been served to go ahead and start.
Yeah, you got a quorum.
Right. But you also want to take note of what's going on at the table.
Right.
And you could actually get points for dining etiquette leadership.
Yes.
And just sympathize with those who haven't received their dinner yet.
Yeah.
And
you mean don't say sucks to be you? Is that not polite?
That's
okay.
Okay. No, you would not say that.
Okay.
What you would do is you would say, "Oh, I'm so sorry that you haven't been served yet." And hopefully that will nudge them to say, "Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, eat it. It's warm.
Yeah.
We're fine.
Yeah. Right.
Don't wait on ceremony for us."
Very good.
However, if they don't take the hint, maybe some of your things you keep in that toolbox, because the eye glare and the passive aggressive behavior. Yeah. But what you can say is just, is it okay if we go ahead and start since it's warm? Yeah. And then those people at the table who don't have their dinner yet should say, go ahead. Yeah. Because really the dining tables are turned. It really is the onus of those who aren't being served to go ahead and make that.
That's right. Be the bigger
offer.
Be the bigger man.
Yes.
Or woman.
Yes. Yeah. And maybe you have to be hungry for a little bit longer, but hopefully you're not hangry.
All right.
Okay. So, and as we have said before, really just let's relax. Yes. Let's be there for a good time.
Exactly.
We're not the etiquette police.
Right.
We're not going to blow the whistle or whatever.
Okay.
Or say sassy things to our guests.
All right.
Okay. So I just want to remind everyone.
Yes.
Before we shut down.
Right.
That we have a blog about our Downton Abbey tea this weekend.
Yes.
We have a blog about our awards banquet.
Yes.
Yes. Where we've got the spirit.
Yeah.
And also I will put the links into the other topics that we discussed today, including the Evelyn Waugh books.
Excellent.
Okay?
Okay.
Now, do I think I hear that sound?
I think you do, or you will shortly. All right.
Okay. Well, I want to conclude our program today saying just how grateful and happy we are being here at ONTV Studios, like our family, and to be recognized for taking on some interesting aspects of the job. That was pretty sweet.
It's fun.
It's so fun.
Yep.
It is so fun.
Yep.
I'm glad we found this place.
Yep.
And I want to thank all our listeners and watchers, and hopefully we'll get some we'll share some viewers feedback.
Yep. Not yet.
Not yet. And we'll share some feedback on our next podcast.
Very good.
Thank you to my co-host and arm candy award winner, Chris Kelly.
You're welcome. All right.